Welcome to I Heart Geek.
And welcome to a wrestling episode of I Heart Geek.
Too sweet.
We are like the worst, posers I've ever seen in my life. This is amazing. I'm Dub. I'm here with Chris, and we're here with Kevin, and we are going to talk all things wrestling today. It is Wrestlemania season, and we always try to do a wrestling episode around this time. We're going to be talking WWE. We're going to be talking AEW, and we're going to be doing some fantasy booking and a lot of what if speculation. So if you're into wrestling, this is the show for you. If you're not, catch us on the next episode, I guess.
If you're not into it, watch wrestling and then get into it.
Wrestling is life.
It's the
fun.
greatest.
It can be. It can be. We had some bad years.
Yes.
Listen, when wrestling is good, it is the absolute best entertainment out there.
But when it's bad, it's very, very bad.
It could be very bad.
Okay, so let's talk the first big thing we got to talk about for the year of WWE. Vince McMahon is quote unquote no longer in charge, or he is, or he's not, or he is, or he's not. I don't know. Let's hear your guys' thoughts on, other than the product being a million times better since he's gotten out of creative, what's your guys' thoughts on the whole Vince McMahon getting ousted? Start with you, Kevin.
So when it happened, my mind was blown because like everybody for years, blown. Because everybody for years has been, well, Vince McMahon will never leave. He's only going to leave whenever he dies. And this right here was the board of directors, I believe, coming together and saying, listen, we got to get rid of this guy. Here's how we do it. And then for him to weasel his way back in there, his daughter, the same day it's announced that he's brought back in, his daughter resigns. It's so very telling.
But can I say this? How are you going to weasel into the thing that you bought, created, built, turned into a worldwide entity? How are you weaseling? Well, it's kind of his. To be fair, I say the product's better since he's been gone, but how I have trouble when people say, well, he's just weaseling his way in. If you get where I'm coming from on that.
I mean, it's not a good look for WWE in this regard because he was discovered by the Wall Street Journal and other press outlets that he paid up to $20 million in hush money to cover up his affairs. So I think it was the right call initially.
But the big question is, was it his money or was it the company's money? That's kind of
money.
It doesn't. I don't think it matters. I think the board of directors did the right call by getting
an excuse.
Yeah, but Vince McMahon, I would argue, and my biggest criticism of WWE up until recently is that the product is too childish and it's all Vince McMahon ideas. So the fact that Triple H is finally in charge, I've actually, I refer to it as cheating on my, not cheating on my ex, but checking in on my ex.
Yeah,
because I'm an AEW guy now.
At this point, you're living with your ex again. Be honest.
Yeah. Well, some of it's been good because
some of it's
been
Let's
good.
be fair, a lot more than some of it. Most of it.
A lot, yeah. And I think give Triple H his credit. He should be running the company no matter what. Now, him weasel, I would agree with Kevin that he did kind of weasel his way back in because on one hand, yes, it is his baby that he built and created from this into this pop icon
from nothing.
But at the same time, some of the rumored buyers raise a lot of red flags.
Yeah, well, let's jump into that. Yeah. Okay, and this a fact. If I'm putting this out on air right now. If the UAE ends up buying WWE, as of that day, no questions asked, wrestling's over for me. I will never talk about it again. It's over.
Or you can just switch. AEW.
Again, I don't have any access. I have no access, but we'll get into that in a minute. Why AEW is the number 2 company for a reason. It's never going to be a number 1 company for some very good reasons. We'll get into it. As I say, this isn't. We're not gonna pee in each other's Wheaties and, well, mine's better than yours. there's reasons why some are more user friendly than others.
Yes.
And we'll play with that in a few minutes. So I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts on the UAE possibly buying? And they're not even the front runners at this point, by the way. So that can kind of get put to bed. But I have some ideas, and well, I'll get your guys' ideas first before we start getting into it. What would you like to see happen? Because WWE will be sold. There's not a question about it. Best case scenario. What are your guys' best case / worst case scenarios? I think I already said UAE is the worst case.
I agree. If it's sold to that conglomerate, I will never watch WWE programming again, just because out of principle. I think because it's a little hypocritical that for a company that's been trashing on foreigners in the sense of this is America, like you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Like,
WWE created women's wrestling, so for them to go over there,
well, yeah, Glow did, but yeah,
I think if it's sold to anyone, it should be either Fox or Disney, because they're not. Here's why I say no. Here. There's a reason. Or NBC, because they've been with NBC forever.
I'm okay with NBC.
I'm also okay with NBC because the way that they've integrated the WWE network into Peacock is just fantastic. But realistically, if it's not NBC, it'll be Fox, and if it's not Fox, it'll be Disney, because there's no way in hell Time Warner Discovery is going to add another wrestling company. Because if Time Warner Discovery were to add WWE, goodbye AEW, and then for me, goodbye wrestling, because So I'm hoping an American-based company or an American-based TV network buys WWE.
I think that is a no starter for me if it's not an American company. It's as American as Major League Baseball or apple pie. It is.
Well, the thought is that Vince McMahon's pricing himself out so that he can't be sold. He's pricing it at $2 billion, and so if he gets it, great. I have $2 billion, but he's not really wanting to sell it. That's where the rumors are now. I would be okay with Disney. And isn't Disney and NBC connected together in a way? I could really see.
No, they're
Disney.
ABC. ABC is Disney.
Oh, is it ABC and Disney? Okay.
ABC would ruin WWE, but Disney has the money and the infrastructure to put it on a streaming platform. Sorry, I'll let you finish. Sorry.
And the one thing I don't want, and I guess people that weren't thinking too far in advance when they were saying it, is Tony Khan buying it. I don't want Tony Khan to buy it. I think he already has too much on his plate right now. And I just focus on your two brands that you have now. I think he was never going to buy Ring of Honor. They kind of just fell in his lap, and like he had to at that point. But I mean, Disney is, to me, is the forefront.
So, okay, I want to disagree with you on your, and this is all 100% fantasy booking on my side. But my ultimate dream is for Nick Khan, that's the name, right? And Triple H and Stephanie, and heck, throw Shane in, pool their money, buy it, and wait, it's not going to be one show. This is something I think would make for the next golden age of wrestling. Okay, so we have both of these companies, and then they develop trade programs, all that other stuff. So, but they're not going to like do what Raw and SmackDown does, and they're not going to go invade each other. It's like an NFC league, the AFC and the NFC, and then at the end of the year at WrestleMania, that's the only time we see them together. Now, and because a big problem with wrestling now is there's too much of it on TV. So we take the Ring of Honor, we take NXT, we take SmackDown, we take Dynamite or whatever the other.
You're right, Dynamite.
Okay, and make those into territories. And they're only running out of, and let's say they're only on the internet, high quality internet, but that they can move up, and then some of the other guys can move down, and that way you're always getting fresh faces, and it can be the territories again.
So you're basically saying AEW's model. I mean, AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor. It's literally what AEW does. They have a YouTube
Kinda.
show. So you want WWE to be like AEW.
Sure, I've never even seen it before. But no, I want territories to come back.
Yeah.
Because you'd have like, let's say Ring of Honor would be the Middle America, Chicago. NXT would be the West Coast, and what Dynamite would be the East Coast, and they could trade back and forth all they wanted, but it'd be a territory, and no one would stay there for more than 2 years. And then you could also move up. You could have guys moving down and just getting a refresher in their characters. I think, and you're only getting whatever AEW's flagship show is, Dynamite and Raw. That's all you're getting on the main on your national TV. One's Monday, one's Friday, or Thursday, or whatever they do. That's my ultimate dream booking, and we could talk trades and all that other stuff, but that is my ultimate dream. And Triple H has the WWE side. Nick Khan has the AEW side. That he has. One has the AFC, one has the NFC, and once a year you have a big a King of the Ring tournament, and that they have one champion, and he goes back and forth. And otherwise, it's all separate.
No, that would be great if you put it like football.
Yeah, that's
your
exactly
NFC,
like
AFC.
football.
Yeah.
That's my ultimate dream. I think that would save wrestling and probably give us another 25 years before it needs a refresh again. We need a refresh now.
I think if you want to go old school, I like the whole territory idea. If you want to go like super old school and super true to the old territory system, you have WWE in New England, New York, down to DC. You have AEW in the southern United States. You have Impact and the NWA as like the Mid-Atlantic territory. Yeah. And then NXT, I guess, move to California, or, create a new promotion, or move Ring of Honor. Yeah. I think that would be pretty cool.
See, I like territories because then you get a lot more small towns, and you get kids that are into it again, because those kids are going to go see in a civic auditorium instead of having to go to a freaking arena show. So we got an auditorium that fits 2,000 people, and the kids are going to be a lot more into that, and they're going to go every freaking week or every month.
There's like promotions like Impact Wrestling who somehow are still alive 20 years on. They would be they're actually doing quite well for having no names on their roster, really. So they could easily be one of those, like, we'll call them a bingo hall show. You could also say, oh, I lost it. Ring of Honor could be a bingo hall show.
It works better as a small show. It's like ECW. Those were amazing until they tried to get too big.
The GCW, which is based out of New Jersey, they're
awesome.
I want to go to a show.
CCW is insane. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like those, like these little indie darlings. Maybe they should be like the little touring region.
Yeah.
And
that way they could trade people out, and you could have, no one's going to get sick of this wrestler, because they're going to, okay, you know what? You've been here for a year and a half. You were the champ, you dropped. Okay, now let's move you over to the NXT brand. Okay, let's move you from the NXT over to the Ring of Honor brand. And it could constantly be, every week there'd be different people. I think that would save wrestling.
I think AEW
you have to have the two big ones
doing that, though. That's their model. The only difference is that you're talking about WWE being involved, and then you have the two super shows, which I'm all for it. But that is the model. I don't want to.
Yeah, but you have to make that. But see, the problem with AEW, with WWE not being in the mix, what is wrestling is WWE. Let's be fair. 90% of America would say, what's wrestling? Whatever. It's WWE. AEW, whatever.
I would argue, since AEW's inception, that AEW, when you think of wrestling, you think WWE, AEW. Like, AEW is...
It's still not even on the level WCW was. And I wish it was.
It's better than WCW. It's better than WCW.
I'm not talking about the products. I'm talking about the recognition. I'm talking about the...
Well, but WCW only had, a year and a half of 2 years of actual really good viewership. I've been watching a show on YouTube called Reliving the War.
Yeah,
and it was like a down and out company until about 97, and it was great between 97 and like 98.
NWO and Goldberg, those two greatest things that came out. Yeah.
But like WCW only had a couple years. I mean, WWF has been the giant conglomerate for years. So,
I mean, WWE killed the territories and combined them. Vince McMahon, the current Vince McMahon, said, "I will never buy or infringe on anyone's territories," and then he bought and put them all out of business within.
That's why I want Triple H to own. And again, I am fantasy casting, but that's why I want Triple H to have more control on that, because he does love the old school territories and all of that. He would reach out to AEW in a heartbeat.
I think so. And I think Tony Khan will play ball. I really do. I think he can, because he's a historian too, and you have two people that love the history of it. They love. I mean, Triple H actually did come out of the territories. And
Nick Khan's a fanboy. Let's be honest. He is. That's kind of.
You mean Tony Khan?
Tony Khan. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I also think. Oh my God! I had a thought. Oh my God!
Oh, no.
Oh my God! Oh no! It was good too. It was good. I've probably taken one too many, shots. Of my Pianji Mania championship belt. For the people on Broadway knows what this is. I am the reigning, defending, undisputed champion of Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. Yes, this is my face. And that's just, I had to throw it in there. This was only $200. So my wife was very happy I didn't spend like $1,000 on this belt. I'm going to put it down.
It was worth it.
It was so worth it.
It was so worth it. Been a spinner.
Oh no, that's the worst belt ever. That's the worst belt ever.
Let me tell you something. WWE has two things going for them right now that has piqued my interest. I've started glancing at them a lot more. I've actually started watching Monday Night Raw again and SmackDown clips. Is they have two things. They have one is Triple H's booking, and they have Cody Rhodes. I'm a huge fanboy of Cody Rhodes. I've been following him ever since he left and went to the territories and followed his journey. And I'm all for this WrestleMania match coming up.
I love what Cody Rhodes is doing. I'm still a little salty that he gave up on his company because of probably CM Punk.
Most
likely CM Punk. But I am all for Cody Rhodes being the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. I've acknowledged Roman Reigns for too long, and that's part of the reason why I haven't watched WWE's programming, because like when John Cena was the guy forever and ever and being shoved down our throat, it's the same thing with Roman Reigns. However, the stuff the bloodline story with Sami Zayn, if there was a moment to take one of the belts off Roman Reigns, they should have done it at Elimination Chamber, because that match had 2011 Money in the Bank when Cena and CM Punk had their awesome match in Chicago.
I agree with you, and we had this conversation before, but I'm going to tell you why I don't think that works. Because they want to have Cody being the guy going in. If you have anything that's Sammy, they had to be very, very careful because they painted themselves in a corner.
They did.
They completely. You can't let Sammy win, because then why do we have Cody? Because Cody's going to get booed. But it was a no-win situation. But Cody
would never be booed.
They put on Match of the Year. Yes, he would.
Yes, it was match of the year. Yeah, and Cody Rhodes is going to get booed as soon as he's champion for like 3 months.
Yeah, well, he's a better heel than he is a face.
He's going to lose. I think he's going to lose after about 3 months. Honestly.
He's a better underdog. Yeah,
he's a better chase. He's all about the chase.
He's been chasing it since he quit WWE over Stardust, and Cody Rhodes has proven that he can be the face of multiple companies. He was the face of Ring of Honor when he was there. He was the face of the Bullet Club when he was there with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. He was the face of AEW until he painted himself into a corner by saying, "I will never challenge for the AEW title," which was so stupid. He could have turned heel. He could have reneged on that, and that would have been amazing. But then CM Punk had to ruin ruin everything, and now he's back in WWE. It's just, for me, it's still weird seeing Cody Rhodes come out in his American Nightmare stuff with his AEW theme. It's just like they just took he just took his ball and went back home.
But the way they
AEW theme, that theme is literally, if you listen to the words, it's the biggest FU to WWE of all time. Like the actual words are.
But what they're doing with the Dusty Rhodes stuff is amazing.
It's really good.
It's going to be, if they lose, it's a riot. If he loses, there's a riot with everything they've done with Dusty. And it's amazing how they've done that. You had something there, Chris?
I'm just playing with my little thing because I'm just
too easy
chomping at the bit. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk going into WrestleMania, some of the big things. And we're gonna hit the AEW Rampage in a minute, and I'll be quiet for a few minutes, or whichever one. The
Revolution tonight.
Whatever.
Nobody watches Rampage.
No one.
Don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. Thank you for reminding me. It was back when we were talking about like the internet and streaming. I think what AEW Ring of Honor should do is they should just cancel Rampage or make Rampage their internet show and put Ring of Honor in that 1 hour slot. So that way you have AEW on Wednesdays.
Ring of Honor should be the NXT of.
And I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I think
I don't think they've. Yeah.
When we get to the AEW stuff, we'll go off on but WrestleMania, it looks entertaining. It looks really entertaining.
WrestleMania, okay.
Yeah.
It's only like 8 matches, right? Or no,
like
sorry.
There's going to be more than that.
Sorry.
It's going to pop up.
I'm thinking about something different.
Let's see. We got the Usos, Bloodline, Sammy, KO. There's so much they can do here. They can put Sammy and KO onto a team, take out the Bloodline because Jay will go on them. They could have Jay versus Jimmy, which will be amazing. They could have Jay and Jimmy versus Roman because he turns on him. There's a million ways they could go with this, and I love that I don't know. This makes me so happy. And there's like more than one match here.
I honestly think it should be a fatal 4-way for the Universal title. But I think that's not going to happen because they're hyping up Roman's Cody.
It's going to happen next time. It's not going to happen on WrestleMania.
If they do a Usos versus KO and Sammy, there's going to be several double, triple crosses, and it's going to I'm hoping that we get a new Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn feud because those guys can go.
They can, but I've seen it so many times.
I've been watching it for so many years.
I want to see them like the Generico Kevin Steen era when they were a tag team.
You know what would be cool? Okay, so he goes through, they go and they have this match, and then the Usos win. Kevin Owens gets completely pissed off, turns on Sami Zayn, beats Sami Zayn. Now Sami Zayn goes, he's gone. He's gone for a month or two, and then he comes back as El Generico. And El Generico now has to fight Kevin Owens. He's come back from his little orphanage in Mexico where he's been for years.
Okay, on that, we're gonna end this episode, and we're gonna. You guys don't know this. We're gonna turn around and do another one right away. But you guys will get to see the next episode next week. Stick on. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Thanks for checking us out. Go to the website www.iheartgeekshow.com. Go to the Facebook. Go to the Twitter, all that other stuff. Chris, go to your podcast. What's your podcast?
Georgetti on Ice, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you freaking podcast.
Okay, and so we'll see you guys next week. And until next time, I'm Dub. I'm here with Chris. I'm here with Kevin. Catch you next time. Keep on geeking on.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the iHeart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.